Rise and Grind, the only cigar that I'm loyal to. Let's have this conversation. And so tonight, without any further ado, I'm going to be enjoying the only cigar that I can say that I am loyal to this cigar. And what cigar is that? I got a classic. I've got the Alec Bradley Prensado. So I want to enjoy this cigar and I want to have a conversation. This cigar is an absolute classic, just one of my all-time most favorite cigars. This cigar back in 2011, so about 14 years ago, it won Cigar of the Year before I even get to smoking it. I already know what I'm in for. Lots of notes of leather, chocolate, some good, pleasant, maybe some red pepper. And so this cigar, again, Cigar of the Year, 2011, got a 96 rating. Just an absolute, just a wonderful cigar. It presents well. This, I always talk about, I say some cigars are like smoking a Snickers. This looks like a Snicker. It's beautiful, it's velvety, it looks chocolatey. And on the taste, a long, lingering finish, a good, pleasant red pepper flakes on the retrohale, a good sweetness. So you do get that caramel, some slight molasses, mixed in with a pleasant leather. And so this cigar is this is a Honduran wrapper, Honduran tobacco. From 2011, I've been in love with this cigar and I still buy these. I've got about 2 boxes of these put away. This is a cigar that I am absolutely loyal to. This cigar is just so complex. There's also this dried fruit note on here, so you do get some raisins. So raisins, chocolate, some leather, just to balance things out. A nice red pepper flakes on the retrohale. This cigar is complex. It's got some strength to it. It's beautiful. Even the band on this thing. And so I could talk praises about this cigar for hours. 2011, considered to be the best cigar, 96 rating. But then people stopped talking about it. And so that's what I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about loyalty. I want to talk about us. I want to talk about where we find ourselves today. When I think about the journey of this cigar and this cigar company, and I think about just my own journey over the past 14 years, I'm often left feeling like I must be a Martian. Like maybe there's just something wrong with me. I went into the Marine Corps, fresh out of high school, and there we learned Semper Fidelis, always faithful. And I've been married for 18 years. I've had my dog for about 13 years. I've worked for the same company for about 17 years. And so there's a thing within me that says that when you're doing something, you stick with it. When you do something, you have an appreciation for it, a respect for it. That when you do something and when something is good, then you continue to value that thing and cherish that thing. And now I find myself just living in this new world where there's always some kind of hype. There's always some new thing. And so a cigar that we know is a wonderful cigar, but now it's 14 years old. And so we are in this society where we don't talk about things that's old. We don't talk about things that once was. The cigar is still the same tobacco. It's still, and it's even better now than it was 14 years ago. It got a 96 rating. But we're in this new world where it's always about the hype. It's always about chasing the new thing. It's always about seeing what's the latest thing out here. It's always about chasing some hype. And so for a guy like me, it makes me feel like I'm a Martian living among the humans, trying to figure out what's going to be the next hype, what's going to be the next thing that they chase after. And it even makes it to the point where I can't even take things serious, especially what I see on social media, because we all know that it's just a hype for the moment. And next year, they'll be propping up some new thing. Next year, there'll be some new cigar that it's the best cigar ever. Next year, there'll be a new whiskey that is the best whiskey ever. But if you're an old school guy like me, who knows how to find a good thing and hold on to that good thing and be loyal to that good thing, cheers. Cheers to the Martians living here on Earth. This cigar is just so good. If you haven't had one of these in a while, I encourage you to go and get one. Now, what I can't imagine is that, yeah, it's got this, it's more of a stronger Honduran wrapper. And I could imagine that maybe it's got some strength to it, so it does have that leather note. But when properly aged, when allowed to mature and to be what it's supposed to be, that pleasant chocolate raisiny sweetness on this, the leather balance it out. So it's just a great cigar. But that's almost not good enough for today's society. Today's society, if I told you this is Cigar of the Year in 2011, today's society says we need a new thing. We need a thing that's hyped. And it makes me wonder, what happened to loyalty? What happened to sticking with something? What happened to actually enjoying something? What happened to knowing what you actually like? What happened to men who are aware of what's good and they don't have to always follow the hype? It just makes me wonder. I'm a big sports fan, and back in the days, you knew who your favorite player was and you knew what team he played for. You knew that Kobe played for the Lakers. You knew Larry Bird played for the Boston Celtics. Back in the days, it made so much sense. But now everything is different. I'm a Miami Heat fan. And there was a moment when we had LeBron James, but that was just for a short time. And then we got Jimmy Butler, but that was also short-lived. And it seems that the world that we're in today, this new earth, this new society, nothing lasts. Everything is always in constant change. Everything is always flowing. And even the athletes don't want to stick to one team and make it work and have some kind of loyalty, some kind of tradition, some kind of honor. It's always about, what's the next thing? Where's the next place I can go? What's the next thing for me? What's the next great cigar? What's the next great whiskey? And so again, I find myself feeling like this Martian where I can't even get into things because I already know it's going to change. There's even channels, YouTube channels, where you can't even watch the channel because you already know in a couple years the channel's gonna change and the channel's gonna go away. But what happened to the people who just stuck with things, who made it happen? Back in the days, that was my dad worked for the same company for 40 years. Our world has changed. No one's loyal to anything. We don't know what's going to happen next. The only constant is change. The only thing we know is tomorrow there's going to be some new great cigar, and tomorrow there's going to be hype associated with that great cigar. But to the Martians out there who know how to find a good thing, keep it, smoke it, enjoy it, age it, the Alec Bradley Prensado, it's still good. It was good in 2011, and it's still good today. And so this is a video, slight cigar review. Because who's doing cigar reviews for cigars that are 14 years old? Who cares about the old stuff? Who cares about a cigar that got Cigar of the Year way before a lot of people were even smoking cigars? Who cares about the old stuff? This video is just a tribute to what's good, to what's legendary, to what has passed the test of time. Just because something is new and hype doesn't mean that it's good. And just because something is great historically doesn't mean that it's not still good. And for us, maybe at some point we'll get to the point where we don't need to chase after the hype, to where we develop and understand what is good, because if it was good then, it's still good now. And maybe we'll start to grow, and maybe we'll get to that point of realizing that we don't need the hype. We know what's good, and we're gonna stick with what's good. It got Cigar of the Year back then, and I can guarantee you, if this cigar was tested again, it would blow away any of the other hype cigars today. But the problem is that the tobacco hasn't changed. The people have changed. The earthlings have changed. The hype machine has changed. It's gotten better. It's gotten more sophisticated. But every now and again comes a guy like me who just hits the reset button and says, no, forget the hype. Let's focus in on what's really good. And so to my fellow Martians, I encourage you to stay classic. You know the good stuff. You've been rocking the good stuff for a long time. At some point, we gotta ignore all the hype. We gotta ignore all this new stuff. We gotta ignore all this marketing. And just get back to the good things. The tried and tested things. We're living in a different world today, where they say most people only have a job for 2 to 3 years. Most relationships, most marriages are done after 7. Something has changed to where we can't stick with something, handle it for years. But maybe that's just a whole nother topic. And so as far as this cigar, I'm loyal to this because this is good. It was good 14 years ago. It's still good to this day. So this is why I'm still buying Alec Bradley Prensados. I don't care who owns the company. I don't care what changes. As long as the tobacco remains the same, then I'm gonna continue to smoke this. And so we hope that you do the same thing in your own life. If what you're doing is working, keep at it. If that job is working for you, if that marriage is working for you, keep at the good stuff. You don't need to chase after this new thing. What you got is already a good thing. So we hope that we've helped you, and we want to continue to have these kind of conversations, because I think the way society is going now, we need to just rewrite. We need to throw away the book and just rewrite it all over again. And so this channel is one of those platforms where the good men, the good women, we're coming together, looking at where things are going, looking at all this hype, and I'm declaring no more. I'm done with it. I'm done with the rat race. We're here for the classic stuff, the good stuff, anti-hype. That's what we're bringing to the people. And we do this through our videos. We do this through our lives. We are taking us back. Forget the marketing, forget the hype. Let's get back to the good stuff. Alec Bradley Prensado, a legendary cigar. I am loyal and faithful to this cigar. If we've helped you help us, hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know. What are some of the good cigars? Not this new stuff. The legendary good cigars. Let us get back to that. Like, comment, subscribe. But most importantly, rise and grind.